Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Technical Brad. Today's episode of the David Brown 880, we are going to look at the pistons. We're going to take them, clean them, and inspect them, take the rings off of them, and see if we can see anything maybe that might be wrong with them as to why we were having issues with the compression ratios on our 3 cylinders. So we're going to take a look at that, and we'll see what maybe is mucked up on it. So we are looking at our pistons we've removed from Brownie, and this is the middle one. And as I pan around here on it, we've got some scratches in here that go all the way down through there, and they even come up into here, it looks like. I did give these a gasoline bath to clean the oil off of them. And what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the rings. And so what I've done is just build me a makeshift table here so that I can set these things down. And what we're going to do, I have containers here that I've marked 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to keep the rings where they came from. Now, kind of the #1 rule when you redo an engine, the bearings, the rings, all this stuff, if you're going to reuse it, you want to reuse them in the same area that they came out of. Because if you go switching them around, then they're going to wear differently, and a lot of these parts can actually wear out quicker by moving them around. And there we have our top ring. Now it's got some corrosion or some crud on here from the gas bath, but initial inspection. Nothing really jumps out by looking at that. So we'll take the next one off here. These are ring pliers here for piston rings. Just like a circlip, you want to open it up far enough. And we got a little bit of wearing going on at both ends here. It looks like it's pretty even around that side. Take the next one off here. Carefully lift it past the grooves in the piston. Oh, it still has a little oil on it. And there again, we're shiny here at this end. Nothing too outlandish, really. This one we will remove from the bottom. Like so. There again, nothing marked top there. Nothing really jumps out. Now this was the middle cylinder, so it was the one that had the highest compression out of the 3. Now remember, we did that by hand, so
takes your arm
for
off.
what it's worth, that's what we had. And as we look around here, I mean, it's got some debris in there, carbon and whatnot, which is really not unusual. And that one was wearing right in there as it is here. It was wearing up in here, wearing right in there too. And generally they do wear on the opposite sides of the pin. that's where it will wear at, and that's the way that's not really deep in there. It feels like it, it doesn't feel like it's even on there. It looks like it, but it doesn't feel like it. So, okay. Another thing, all the rods have numbers on. This is number 307. The cap also has 307 on it, so these are matching sets as they are made and machined. And what I do, when I took them apart, I wrote them down. Number 1 is number 300, 2 is the 307, number 3 is the 228. That way we get them back in the original bores. Start with this ring here. This one is a little more difficult because it is thicker. So the pliers don't want to reach in there as good, because these pliers, basically you've got a V fitting there that your ring's going to fit in down in here, and these are thicker, so it's harder to get them to, they got to open up a little bit to fit in there. And then once they are in there, then you're opening them up this way to spread it out. Very similar to the circlips and things that we had. So we got our container here, number 1. There again, worn a little bit down here at the very end of it. Okay. And this one's number 300. Now this one is pretty gummed up in here. It doesn't even want to slide around. So let's see what we got. There again, we're shiny there on that end. I think this is just a lot of the carbon. I used gum out to clean the carbon off of the top of the cylinders, and I think this probably just settled in there. See, that's really shined up there, like I was making some serious contact. Because of that, would have had more carbon, but it really didn't seem like it. See how that there again. And there again, we're wearing here on our ends. Welcome back. Okay, so we've cleaned these up a bit. And as we take a closer look, now this is the middle one. It was getting in right through here. We can see from here all the way over to here where it was rubbing at the top on that seal ring. You can see the discolorization from here all the way back to there, and then it quits once it goes over to here and over in here. We also have these scratches down along the side here. They're not, they look well worse than what they are because they don't catch even the pencil or anything on there. So those look a lot worse than what they are. This is the third one. Yeah, we can see there real good where it was from there over to there. That was really getting dug into that seal ring on both sides. There again, we got scratches here on our skirt, but you can see where it was coming in contact there by the different colorizations of it. And down there again about that 1/4 of an inch mark, which is how far that seal ring comes down. We come to the first one here. Yeah, we have our mushroom there. I mean, that's really, I don't know if you're gonna, if we can get it on, yeah, right there. And you can see how that's mushroomed up. I mean, it's not real bad. The pencil goes over it, but it just looks like it was dropped on this corner right there. And then also we were digging into the seal ring there again, back down about a 1/4 of an inch into that seal ring. And as we look at the original piston, there's a little bit of marking there, but actually you don't see it. We have a little bit of carbon here. So this is more staining from carbon around here. It wasn't making contact with that sealing ring that is mounted into the top of the cylinder. Now, according to specs, the seal ring is 2 to 5 thousandths larger diameter than what the piston is. So if this was 100 thousandths, then that would be 102 or 105 thousandths. So, you know, obviously they're bigger than that, but just to throw out a number. So we hone that down. We're going to look at that again. We may try to machine that out a little bit more to give us a little more clearance on this. The gum out did a good job cleaning this up. It really dissolves the carbon really good. And the number one here, we had more carbon. I cleaned out the top ring. That, as you recall, when we pulled the actual ring out of there, it was kind of stuck in there. We've got carbon down in here as well. It's not real solid there. Again, these don't have many hours on them. And so I can just take these shop towels we have. They have that hem in there. Well, that fits down inside the groove pretty good. And then it's just a matter of dragging it back and forth and cleaning that out. We can spray that with some gum out and we can clean that out. They do make a tool that you can clean these grooves with, but I'm not going to mess with that, given we only have 3 pistons and this system will work just fine. So yeah, so that's it with the pistons for right now. And we'll do a little more cleaning on them and yeah, take it from there. Welcome back. Okay, so we just received a shipment here today. And I just took some of the, opened this up, took some of the tape packing off of it here. And what we have is an original set NOS of piston rings, specifically 917822. These are oil consumption rings in the 20 thousandth over version. Of course, we have 20 thousandths over on our pistons. And with the issues that we've had with the pistons, I decided to go ahead and order this set. This comes from an eBay store. It's out of Israel, the country of Israel. The store is called Tractors and More. And they had a dealership. They were Case, I believe they were actually David Brown. And then they were Case, of course, International and John Deere. And they had a business there for 40 years or more. And they amassed a lot of parts. And I've purchased some parts for Brownie from them before. There again, NOS parts, they're new. They've never been used. but they're old stock. So that's where the NOS, new old stock, comes from. And so we're going to open these up and just take a look at them here and see what we have. There again, these are in the 20,000th over genre here of piston rings. And this is the complete set of 12. And we'll just see what we got here. Initial inspection, they don't look too bad. We do have some gunk on them there. These are the top 3. Of course, we got 3 cylinder. Of course, it says top here, which would be place where top. And this has a bevel on it, boy, right in here. That was something specific for the oil consumption rings that they had there. So of course we have 3 of those, and then we have 6 of the other ones, which are kind of stuck together here. We'll have to see if we can get these broken loose. They may not be any good. We'll have to wait and see here. And these are the oil ring. Wow. Oil control ring. Duoflex. A well-worthy piston ring. And then we have the piston, the number there. We've got the depth. We'll have to measure that. Let's just see what. Okay. Okay, so this, yeah, this is actually a set. Much different than what the original rings were. I wonder why we've got some directions here. Let's go by some comparison here. We do have the originals. I don't have, well, I do have partial. So this was the oil ring of the set, the original set, and then this is one that they're replacing it with the oil consumption. So we're going to have to read and see what the difference is. And this was the original one. Of course, this was standard, and this one's 20 over. So, they're a different diameter by 20,000th. But these were pretty much the same as we look in here. It's a solid ring with the grooves in there to scrape the oil back in. It's just they're in 2 different diameters is all we have going on there. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. We'll have to read up and see what they're saying about that. We may not be able to even get these apart, but so we'll have to check into that. Anyway, that's just something that we got in today, and I found that kind of neat. So we do have directions here on how to set it up, which is good, and we will be checking into that when we come back. Well, I don't know that we really found out anything. Looking at our pistons, they seem to be in really good shape. Some wear patterns on them maybe that are a little bit questionable. But we got to continue digging into what was wrong with our AD 355 and why it just wasn't running very well for us. So